All right, hello. Thank you for coming to this training. This is all about three proven strategies to clear your acne, especially when you've had acne for 3, 5, 10 plus years, maybe since you were a teenager. And now you're at the point where you're just like, nothing is working, and I need a real strategy in order to clear my skin. And I want to first talk to you, dive straight on into it, into why most acne strategies just do not work, why they fail. And it has nothing to do with you and how hard you're willing to try and what you're willing to do to get clear skin. And it's not about trying to find the right product. It's not about pore cloggers. It's not about drinking more water. It's not about pillowcases or hormonal teas or dairy. It's the method. And notice I said method because there is no strategy to this. It's just this throw at the wall, see what works. There's no step by step plan to get you actual answers as to why you're breaking out in the first place. And so, what most of these things you've tried fail because it simply ignores one, that it's not teaching you how to eat for your nutrient deficiencies. It's just teaching you how to avoid foods. That's not a strategy for clear skin. It's ignoring your detox pathways and your liver being overburdened. And that's why you're experiencing all those estrogen based symptoms and all those hormonal symptoms you're experiencing. Yeah, it's because your liver is not getting rid of the excess hormones. Three, it's ignoring that you may have gut infections and bacterial overgrowths, and there is no amount of healthy eating that's going to be able to clear that and get rid of those. And then number four is it's ignoring stress and cortisol, and that's simply just making your acne triggers worse. And it's the number one thing that stops people from clearing their skin because they think that it doesn't matter, they don't think it's as important, or they just tell you to just stress less, and that's not going to fix anything either. Now, is it? Because at this point in your acne clearing journey, here's what I know. You don't feel as confident without makeup, and it feels like you constantly need to cover up your skin. Otherwise, you think people are just going to be looking at your skin and analyzing and judging you every time you leave the house. You've stopped going to the dermatologist because it seems like the only thing they're doing is recommending another prescription, whether it's birth control that you've been on already, or clindamycin that you've done multiple rounds of, or giving you a prescription to tretinoin that you leave have no intentions on wanting to use. And you are going out with your friends and you are slowly but surely coming up with excuses to not really want to go out because they give their well meaning but sometimes hard opinions, and or you're constantly comparing your skin to theirs all night in your head, and then you look up and you're just like, I'm not having a good time, I'm ready to go. And so the next time they invite you out, you just say no, or you come up with an excuse. And you feel like you're missing out on so many memories with your kids, with your friends, because you don't want to take pictures. You don't want to be in videos without there being some kind of filter to make your skin look better. It's affecting your confidence in dating because how can you put yourself out there and you feel like people are going to judge you for how your skin is, or your partner is telling you you look beautiful but you don't feel beautiful, and then that's affecting like your intimacy because who wants to be intimate with someone when you don't feel good? Like, gross, no thank you. And then now you're on the internet and now you're starting to feel like, okay, maybe I do need to cut out dairy. Maybe it is the sugar. Maybe I should go gluten free, even though I don't want to. And then you're dealing with this bloating when you do try to eat healthy that makes you look 4 months pregnant, even though you're actively working out and trying to lose weight. And it's just like, whoa, what is happening? What's happening? And you're constipated to the point where you need Miralax or coffee on an empty stomach just to be able to have a bowel movement every day. And when you do go to the doctors and tell them, hey, this is what I think is wrong, they may run some testing here and there, check your hormones, but then it comes back normal and you're just like, okay, I don't feel normal. I don't feel like they really listen to me. Now I'm stuck in the same place that I was before. What's next? And you're spending hundreds of dollars every month on skincare and supplements and all this stuff just to try and manage your skin. And I'm here to tell you, been there, done that. But if you're new to me, hi, I am Ashley. I did not grow up having acne. I started out with clear skin until one day turned into one breakout, to the next day another breakout, and I was breaking out nonstop every single day, which led me to my diagnosis of PCOS. And so I went to become an esthetician so that I can find the right products. When that wasn't working, I went to school to become a nutritionist because I was like, is it really the food? Do I really need to cut these foods out? And then I'm now officially an acne functional practitioner where I can run labs to get the full picture. And so I can finally stop guessing. And so you get a little bit of everything when you work with me. Now I help other women of color clear their skin when they don't want to be on prescriptions or restrictions. Here's why my approach is different. I am not going to just ask you to give up dairy, take a probiotic, eat some more vegetables, have some garlic cloves, some Brazil nuts, and leave you spinning your tail until it's time to look for the next product because everything else isn't working. What I am going to do is help you get to the root cause, aka the real reason that is centered around why your hormones are imbalanced in the first place. Because every time you look in the mirror, you can tell that they are. I want to figure out why. And so, this is a strategy developed for ambitious, high achieving women who want to be healthy, who want to learn how to listen to their body, to figure out what it's needing, what it's missing so that you can hit all the health goals that you have. And so here is my solution. It is called the hormonal acne reset method. And there are three different strategies that we're going to go over. But the first one is all about healing your gut. And you're just like, how do I know if my gut needs healing? You have bloating that makes you look and feel 6 months pregnant. Whether you eat something or not, whether you have vegetables or a big old salad or not, it leaves you feeling bloated by the end of the day. You have stomach aches. You are really prone to like eating something and it throws off your whole day. It messes up your whole day, leaves you in pain and cramping. And sometimes it can feel like food is sitting like a brick in your stomach and making you feel nauseous. You have acid reflux. You can go days without having a bowel movement, making you constipated. You have this moodiness. And I'm talking about this like sensitivity, this anxiety that you feel like makes you such a anxious person, and you sort of feel like you have no control over it. It's just who you are. You have some food sensitivities. You're the type of person to be like, if I eat something, it's going to make me my stomach hurt. If I eat this, I know for sure it's going to break me out. Or you've been on birth control and antibiotics just from the simple nature of what they do to the gut, which I'm going to show you in a second. And what that does to the skin is you feel like you break out after eating certain foods, and or your acne is just present all month long. It does not matter the day, the week, the time. You can go to sleep and wake up, there's a new breakout in the morning. That's typically associated with the gut. And here's the thing. It's not the dairy, it's not the eggs, it's not whatever insert food here. It's the environment in which the food is going into, and that is your gut. So on this side, we have on this side, we have what is called a healthy gut. That means you have a good balance of good bacteria and bad bacteria. Everything is thriving the way it should be. You have this lining of protection. It's called your mucosal barrier. This is responsible for letting things in, letting nutrients in, keeping the bad guys out. And so you have these healthy cells that are all together. They're tight junction. They're doing what they're supposed to. They're absorbing nutrients. They're making sure that whenever you eat, you get the full benefits from it. Dairy doesn't bother you. Gluten doesn't bother you. Everything is all good. Inflammation is low. But when we have acne, our guts typically look like this. So those good and bad bacterias from and things from birth control, antibiotics, sometimes even the particles from gluten are now wreaking havoc on our mucosal barrier to the point where it's now gone. It's there in a little bit of places, but now all the bad guys, the good guys are all getting in. And what's happening is that's destroying your cells along your gut. And it's breaking them apart. It's causing a whole bunch of stomach issues. It's leading to all the symptoms that we talked about before because once it gets in, all it's doing is creating this inflammation that is now causing you to have acne. And now it's everything is in a disarray and nothing is working the way it should. But here's the problem when this starts to happen is hormones are made, processed, and eliminated in your gut. And so our gut is where we absorb nutrients that help our hormones communicate properly in the body. So when this starts to break down, your hormone production and signaling also breaks down and it doesn't work the way it should. And so, if you want real answers, okay, then what do I need to go in and do to repair my gut and get it back to its healthy state where I had clear skin at one point? We run a GI map test in my program. And here's why. One, it shows me if you have a bacterial infection called H. pylori. And H. pylori is so common in women with acne. Of all the clients that I've seen, I would say 9 out of 10 people have had H. pylori that we've had to get rid of in order to get them clear skin. And so this gut infection is not something that goes away with healthy eating, and it's known to cause acne, bloating, cramping, gas, acid reflux, belching, nausea, every negative gut symptom that you have experienced. H. pylori is there at the scene of the crime. This also allows me to take a look at the good bacteria. So this is why I am not a proponent of just taking a probiotic and that being the end all be all for a healthy gut, for clear skin, for whatever issue you have. Because if the real problem is if you're not absorbing nutrients or if you're making too much, this is where 80-90% of your good bacteria is down here. If that is too high, then you're not absorbing nutrients the way you should be. Taking a probiotic is not going to fix that. Instead, we want to figure out why that's happening. And then why that's typically happening is you typically can have an overgrowth of bad bacteria that can be causing quote unquote things like IBS, things like SIBO, and cause the bloating and constipation from these overgrowths of bad bacteria. It also can be producing histamine like reactions. They can be responsible for so many negative things because if you have low stomach acid, then, well, this just creates an environment for all of the bad guys to thrive. And sometimes when I like to ask clients, like, if you're someone who feels like you have very little willpower over needing to have something sweet and it sort of feels like it's beyond your control, you just always crave it. Sometimes it's not a cravings problem, it's an overgrowth of yeast problem. And this is something we can look and figure out. And then there's a whole bunch of digestion markers in on the gut test. This is super important because this tells me how many digestive enzymes you have in your body to break food down. This is telling me like about your liver and how much burden it's under, because it's super important to have a properly functioning liver if you're having estrogen like symptoms, because it gets rid of it. And this tells me a look at your secretory IgA, gives me a look at what how your immune system is doing. And sometimes eating clean, giving up dairy, gluten, coffee, eggs is not enough to actually go in and fix these deeper rooted problems if you don't have things like stomach acid and digestive enzymes in order to break foods down. And so here is a client of mine. I also have a video of a deeper dive study if you want to get more into what her story was like. But when she came to me, she was working out 6, 7 days a week. She was on birth control since she was a teen. She was trying to purposely eat healthier, going on a health journey to lose weight, clear her skin, really hit her protein goals. So she was consuming a lot of protein bars. She was taking a bunch of acne supplements she saw on IG, had cystic breakouts before her period. She would get a good night's sleep and still wake up exhausted, would be constipated, even taking magnesium. So when we actually got some answers and helped heal her gut, this is what we prioritize. We prioritize walking and slower workouts and building muscle all in combination. Eating enough for the amount that she was working out. If you are not eating enough for the amount that you're working out, you will cause cortisol issues, and that will destroy your hormones. And then we put her on a gut healing protocol for her infections and for her constipation. We swapped out all the supplements, unnecessary supplements she was taking, for supplements that actually helped with her acne triggers. We dialed in a nighttime routine for her, and she worked on getting some sun consistently. And look at the before and after. It tells it all. When you have a healthy gut, you have healthy skin. And it's just that simple. So now let's move on to step two. Step two is all about balancing your blood sugar. So when your blood sugar is on a roller coaster, oh my. One, you start to get hangry, because why? When your blood sugar goes up and then it drops down very quickly, it creates this hunger like feeling that leaves you feeling hangry, shaky, irritated until you eat. you are someone who craves sugar, like in between meals, like when you go to snack on something, you go to snack on something sweet. You have energy crashes, especially around that 2, 3 p.m., where you're just like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I need a nap. You have a hard time losing weight, especially in like that lower midsection, upper thigh area. It just feels like it will not budge. You break out right before your period. You have acne that is typically that hormonal lower cheek, chin, jawline acne. You're someone who deals with brain fog. Like you start to feel like you can be in the middle of your sentence and lose your thought. That's the most common trait of it, and it's just it can sort of feel like you're losing your memory. Or if you've been diagnosed with having pre-diabetes or having PCOS, blood sugar is super important for you. So I want to tell you, no, this is when I say this, I do not mean to go demonizing carbs and making that the problem or feeling like you can never have sugar again, when the real problem is you're just on this blood sugar roller coaster all day, every day. So, just a quick little insight of the science behind it is when you eat something, your body, depending on what it is, it can make glucose. When glucose enters the body, your body naturally makes insulin. Insulin is a response to glucose. Now, these your body has cells. The insulin needs to go into said cells in order for it to then function properly. But what happens is your cells start to say no, it doesn't get in, but your body doesn't stop making insulin. Your body is just resistant to the insulin that it is making. And so that sugar that is now accumulated in your body now turns to fat. And that then causes you to feel tired and hangry. And it's on this never ending, constant roller coaster over and over every day throughout the day. And so when you start to have imbalanced blood sugar, was like what can cause it? Because I want you to know it's not just food. It's not just sugar and it's not just carbs. It can come from a lack of sleep can imbalance your blood sugar. Having a low activity level where you're not moving much throughout the day. You're just moving, eating, snacking all day, blood sugar roller coaster. It's not just what you eat, but it's when you eat it, it's how you eat it, what order you eat foods in, the different times in your cycle. You are typically just more insulin sensitive sometimes and then insulin sensitive not the other times. And so that's why things like seed cycling and carb cycling has like come about simply because of that. The more stress you're under, the more your blood sugar goes up because blood sugar and stress are hand in hand. When your stress levels and cortisol levels go up, so does your blood sugar. When your cortisol levels and stuff dip, so does your blood sugar. So they are in a tight relationship. Simply just being insulin resistant will keep your blood sugar on a blood sugar roller coaster. So already being having pre-diabetes and PCOS will naturally keep you on the blood sugar if you're not intentional, and just having nutrient deficiencies where so if you're not eating enough, if you're not getting enough minerals and things like that. And that's exactly what we're about to talk about, because insulin is a fat storage hormone and it's your body's only way to lower your blood sugar. But what happens is when you keep pumping and pumping all that insulin, it turns into a hormone called IGF-1. The IGF-1 turns into androgens. The androgens are the reasons that's caused you to have too much sebum, too much oil that's breaking you out. And so that was my experience and why it came to be that I was diagnosed with PCOS and my acne. So I had no period. I had really scary brain fog. I really thought that I was losing my memory and was this close to going to a specialist about it because I was so scared. I had no idea how much protein I was eating. I had no idea overall how many calories I was eating. All I knew was that I was on keto, and keto told me to eat as little carbs as possible, don't eat fruit at all. And I was thinking about going even dairy free keto because I was like, this isn't clearing my skin. I was doing a bunch of intense cardio 5, 6 days a week and I was exhausted. I had been skipping breakfast since I was in high school. I had a $750 Skin Better skincare routine, which I was sleeping maybe 5 hours a night. Like I was a hot mess, hot riggedy mess. So, one of the first things I started to do was change the way I looked at eating because keto simply was not working. It was not the answer that I was looking for. So, I started my own method, and it's called the Fuel Before Fun method. And this is all centered around making sure that you are eating enough, having balanced meals, and following a blood sugar friendly eating window, and eating and drinking the right ratio of minerals to reverse deficiencies. So I needed to relearn how to eat to clear my skin, not eat to be healthy, not eat to lose weight, not trying to be skinny, not demonizing foods, eating to heal my body. And this is where I incorporate minerals in the HTMA test. So, minerals are the building blocks for your hormones, meaning you cannot have balanced hormones and not be getting in enough minerals. Minerals are the step one, really, step zero for having balanced hormones. And on the HTMA test, it gives us so much deep insight that is so amazing. It allows me to look at your stress levels because sometimes we can be like, oh, I'm not stressed. I don't feel stressed, or stress is common in my life. So what am I going to do? Like, who knows? It allows me to look at your blood sugar levels, and it allows me to look at the stress that your liver is under. It tells me if you're eating enough or not. It will get all up in your business. It will tell me if you're eating enough protein, carbs, or fat or not, and what ratio is best for you. It tells me what mineral foods, like what exact foods that you need to start eating to prioritize for your skin. It tells me if your blood sugar levels are too high or too low, and it tells me, gives me an insight to your body's response to gluten. So that way, I like people, some people just like to know, is this something I need to take out? Yes or no. Is this something that is bothering me? Yes or no. Do I need to heal something and then bring it back in? Yes or no. And so after I implemented the fuel before fun method, I started strength training instead of that endless cardio that I was doing. I started eating and drinking the right kind of minerals. I also went on a gut healing protocol that was 4 phases. I supported my liver. I got 2 more hours of sleep. You'd be surprised what 2 more hours of sleep putting you in that right ratio will do for your skin. I ditched my expensive, extravagant skincare routine for one that calms my skin, help clears my acne, and corrects hyperpigmentation. That is all I focused on. All right, the third step of the hormonal acne reset method is all about reducing stress and inflammation in your life. Now, hear me out because right now you're probably like, girl, what? The goal, I am never going to be the one to tell you, just stress less. I'm going to tell you, you need to become more resilient to stress because right now you're stuck in this vicious cycle of waking up exhausted, snoozing the alarm a couple times, and immediately needing some coffee in order to wake up. And then you're over exercising, probably doing HIIT workouts every morning on an empty stomach because of fasting and intermittent fasting and things like that. And then you get your day started, and you just get so busy with work or whatever. And then you start to skip meals because you're a workaholic. You have a to-do list that's a mile long. You just need to get stuff done. People are relying on you. If no one else does it, then if you don't do it, who else is going to do it? And it needs to get done, and this, that, and the other. And then don't add into the fact that we live in some crazy times and life starts life and you it makes it hard to deal with change, toxic relationships, relationship drama, friendship drama, adding on health scares and feeling like your doctor professionals aren't listening to you. They aren't taking you seriously. You aren't getting the answers that you want. Every time you look in your skin, it frustrates you. It's just so much that just keeps building up. And then by the time it's time to go to bed, yes, you're exhausted, but you still can't fall asleep. So you're just scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on TikTok until you fall asleep with it in your hand, maybe. And what all this chronic, all of that is doing is turning to chronic inflammation in the body. And so that's leaving you feeling even more tired, even more fatigued, even with sleep. Even though workouts are supposed to make you feel better, they drain you even more. You have this moodiness that's sort of like PMS because you just like you're running on E and everybody's testing you. Everybody's pushing your buttons and you're just like, please. And then you're dealing with more PMS when it is that time of the month. It just feels like this like Tasmanian devil is like coming out of you to just like try and give you some space and create some boundaries. You have a hard time falling asleep and staying asleep. And this can often show up as you waking up around that 2 to 4 a.m. range every single night. Even if it's quickly, even if it's just to go pee, it's waking you up. And stress is one of those things where it contributes to 50% of all illnesses. This is not to say stress is causing it, stress is exacerbating it very, very quickly. It's one of those things where they say stress is the silent killer, especially among women, especially among women of color. We have to take this seriously. And so, what chronic inflammation is doing to the skin is it's creating too much oil, too much sebum. Dead skin cells are starting to build up, and P. acne bacteria is starting to grow on your skin. And so now you're wondering, okay, but it's impossible for me to not have any stress in my life, in my work, in my relationships. So, what am I supposed to do? Lower your inflammation. And there are ways to do that. Let me introduce you to my client. So when she came to me, she was having a new cystic pimple, like the deep red ones that you see every single week. Every week. She had raging PMS in a period that she felt like just lasted way too long. She had a stressful job where she felt like she did not get the promotion that she rightfully deserved. She was waking up at 5 a.m. on an empty stomach, working out, hitting 10K steps every day, but still could not lose the weight. Remember what I talked about? And even to a point where even hyaluronic acid was breaking her out. Something that was supposed to be hydrating her skin was breaking her out. So what did we do? In order to lower inflammation, there are a couple of things that you can do. One is making sure that you're eating enough to take your body out of fight or flight mode. Your body cannot heal in fight or flight mode. And so every time you deprive yourself of minerals, nutrients, and vitamins, your body think you are up against a tiger, you're in the bay or bear in the forest. So it's like, oop, we got to preserve everything because we don't know the next time she's going to eat. So instead, we incorporated the fuel before fun method. She stopped skipping lunch and she held a boundary that she was entitled an hour for lunch. So she took that hour for lunch. And guess what? The world did not end because she didn't answer the email right away. She prioritized drinking and eating her minerals because one of the first things that goes away when you're stressed are your minerals. So you have to replenish them. Then she started taking supplements for her gut symptoms and her hormonal issues because stress makes your gut worse. And so we had to go in and then go in and repair a little bit of that gut lining, that mucosa barrier that I showed you that was broken apart. Hers was broken apart. So we had to go in and heal that back on up. And so instead of all the cardio and hit workout she was doing, we added in strength training that then combined with all these other ways to lower inflammation, finally got rid of those last 10 pounds. Yes, you can lose weight by eating more. I promise. So, no, you don't have a skincare problem. You don't have a diet problem. You need to know that the way you clear your acne for good, has everything to do with the gut symptoms that you're dealing with, your blood sugar being all over the place, and having constant unmanaged stress. And so I even have a better way to look at this. We're going to look at it this way instead. Here's what it takes to clear your skin. You need a healed gut. You need to be more resilient to stress, and you need balanced blood sugar. So if you have felt like that you have tried everything to clear your acne, I promise you, you have not done all of that yet. And that's why you're still breaking out. Now you know why. And so none of the other strategies you put in place has had a plan to address all three without making you be on a ton of supplements or cut out dairy, eggs, coffee, or gluten. That's not a strategy. Healing your gut, being more resilient to stress, and balanced blood sugar is a step-by-step plan that does not require you to do all those unnecessary things. And so at this point, you've gotten here because you want actual answers to why you're skin isn't clearing and why it comes back and clears and comes back and gets stuck in this cycle. You want to get rid of the acne that you have been dealing with for years, and you want to do it without needing to go on another prescription or be on an expensive skincare routine or give up dairy or be on a boring diet or take 10 supplements. And it is possible. So I want you to close your eyes and imagine that you feel confident leaving the house without makeup on. No, you have glowing skin. You wake up, you look in the mirror, and you're just like, I love the way my skin looks. And now you leave the house with a little bit of mascara, a little bit of lip gloss, and you're on your way. You have skin that's so clear that you don't need that 10-step skincare routine anymore. You can spend less money on skincare and have the best skin of your life. You can go to a restaurant and order the food you love, from the dairy, the gluten, the carbs, without waking up to painful breakouts. You get to eat and move on with your life. That is what true food freedom looks like. You can have a meal that maybe has more sugar than normal, move on about your life, and your next meal be a regular meal. And in the morning, you don't wake up to a new breakout. You can stop spending so much time thinking about your skin. From the moment that someone else looks at you, you're thinking about your skin. To the moment you go in the bathroom and look in the mirror, you're thinking about your skin. When you have a plate of food, you're thinking about your skin. Everything is consumed around thinking about your skin. And if you're going to break out tomorrow, and you can finally silence it. No more of that. You can think about your skin a normal amount or not at all. You have periods that are so easy because the PMS and the pimples are gone. You don't need the heating pad or the Midol or Tylenol to get rid of the pain. Yes, you know your period is coming, but it doesn't bother you anymore because there's no breakout telling you beforehand that it's about to come. It's just easy, easy 3 to 5 day period. You can stop missing out on core memories because you feel comfortable being in front of the camera again, being on video without needing the filters. And most of all, you get your confidence back. You think you're beautiful. You allow other people to think you're beautiful. If you want, you think you look hot again. You can have your hot girl summers, just like everybody else is having. You can bring the spice back into dating because you're not trying to hide anymore. You're not trying to hide between turtlenecks and long sleeves or your hair being down so it covers the acne on your cheeks. No more of that. You can have your hair up. You can have spaghetti straps. You can have the shorts on and still feel good. So now we're at this point where now you have a choice. So A, you can continue to navigate this on your own and continue to DIY it because now you know what to look for and what to prioritize now. You know to prioritize your gut and your blood sugar and your stress. So at least you're down a better path. Or you can B, get some real answers and a custom plan for healing your skin. And that's where the hormonal acne reset method comes in. It's part education, part testing, part one on one support that will get you some clear skin. And the whole goal is to get to the root cause of why you have acne so you know exactly what to eat, exactly what supplements that will work, and exactly what skincare routine to use to clear your skin for the last time. So the question is, how is this program different than everything else you're seeing? We're not only doing hormone testing because you know your hormones are out of whack. I'm not going to shame you for wanting to know what your hormones levels are like, but I'm here to tell you that the reason why your hormones are imbalanced is because of everything we went over. It's no food sensitivity testing here because we're going to get to the root cause in which the environment in which your food is going into. You heal your gut and you balance your blood sugar, the food sensitivity start to go away. No generic, no dairy, no sugar, no eggs, no coffee protocols. None of that. No more eat greens, take a probiotic, have a couple garlic cloves every morning, BS type of advice. No. This is also not an overnight quick fix. This is not an Amazon Prime use some clear skin. This is not a magic take one supplement, fix all kind of routine. You have to show up and take complete personal ownership for you wanting to have clear skin. And when you do all this, you get some actual answers to what's going on in your body. So let's talk about what's included in the method. For one, we have some GI map and HTMA testing. And so we run these tests because we figure out why you've been breaking out by looking at all your symptoms, uncovering all your acne triggers, and creating a plan based on whatever the gut testing and HTMA testing tells us for your bloating, your periods, your constipation, low energy. We can get information on all of those symptoms. Then you will go through an 8 week clear skin course. And so the whole point of this course is to learn what hormones are imbalanced, how to support them to get your periods better, get you more energy, handle stress better. You're also going to learn that fuel before fun method, all about how to eat, when to eat, what to eat to calm your skin without having to give up your favorite foods. And you will be surprised just by learning how to eat and how to really support your body with slight lifestyle tweaks, how quickly your body starts to respond. Because I have check ins like every single week, and people can be on week 2, week 3, and just have these small, simple wins. Next, you get a custom skin protocol. So, in this clear skin protocol, I will tell you exactly what your lab results told you, break it down and explain you to what everything means, and then you will get a custom supplement routine based on what your acne triggers need. You will get a custom nutrition plan based on what foods I want you to eat more of, and get you a customized skincare routine that heals your skin barrier, gets you glowing skin, and gets rid of those brown spots that you absolutely hate. And with these skincare protocols, because they are so customized directly to you and what you need, people get wins so, so quickly. Like having wins that, like having clear skin that they didn't even have when they were on spironolactone. Starting their period today and no cramps, no major breakouts. And things like I'm eating in a way that they never did eat before, and finding the sweet spot where they're able to like poop and still be able to eat. And it's crazy. The next is you have some coaching and some one on one messaging. So there is a mix between calls that we have one on one and weekly, like office hours. So you get an onboard call with me, you get a test results call with me, and you get a wrap up call with me at the very end. And everything in between, you can either, there's two different options of how you can get support based on what you desire. So, one is unlimited one on one chat access to me during the week that I can answer your questions, get some feedback on stuff, really help you with your supplement routines, all that fun stuff. Or you can hop on weekly office hours if you actually want to chat with me, look me face to face, and get that quick questions answered. Whichever one you decide is best for you, either way, you will be supported regardless. And then last on the list is you get a list of high protein, acne friendly recipes, grocery list, and all that good stuff to take the guesswork out of it. So, but let's say you decided to do like, okay, this is a lot all at one time. I'm just going to do everything individually. So if you just did lab testing by itself, labs will upcharge you if you just get the labs itself. So now you're at $6.99. You do a gut healing program on its own. That's easy. An 8 week, 12-week gut healing program, $2,000 flat. If you want to get a hormone specialist and have someone run, let's say, some Dutch testing and get you on a customized protocol, again, 2,000 flat, easy or more. Let's say you do an esthetician, you get visits. She puts you on a skincare routine. Let's say you do a chemical peel bundle. All of that can easily go up to $750. And let's say you want to work with a dietitian one on one for, let's say, 4 months for this to really get some truly customized meals and all that other good stuff. That's 3,000 easy. So that investment really adds up and can be up to like $8,400. But if you decide to do it with me, I do understand that this is not for everyone. But this protocol is designed in mind for women who are ambitious, go getting women who want clear skin in the next 6 months or less. You want to have more energy later on in the day and not need to take a nap when you get home. You want to feel confident when you look in the mirror, both your skin and your body. You want to have food freedom and to stop obsessing over what to eat, what not to eat. Is this going to make my skin worse? Is this not? Is this going to make me gain weight? Is this not? That noise is so loud. You want to feel in control of your body. And more than that, you want to be present and active in your own life, in the lives of your friends, in the life of your partner, in the life of your children. but you got to start with you first. And so I'm happy to say that this is an investment and it's exclusive to action takers only who are ready to say, I need a different approach. I know something is deeper is going on, and I'm willing to invest my time, energy, and resources to getting answers. So if that is you, I want you to fill out an application and then book a call with me for two reasons. One is to make sure we're a good fit with each other. If we're going to be working together for months at a time, I want to make sure that we vibe, we're on the same plane, we're willing to see each other throughout the process. Two is to make sure a good fit for the program. Because if there are certain things you're not willing to do, you're not willing to budge on, you're not willing to change, you're not willing to see different, then the program isn't going to work. But if you are, it will work. And so, no, you will not be paying anywhere near close to $8,400 to work together. Absolutely not. Yes, this is a low four-figure investment to clear your skin for the last time. So here's what happens. You can either do a deposit for your labs and then go on a flexible payment plan. If you have Afterpay or Klarna, you can break your payment up into 12 months. And I think even Klarna goes up into 16 months if you want to make your payments even smaller. But I do want to say overall, money is never a reason not to start. We can create something customized. We can do different payment plans. We can do however you need to split it out to make it work for your finances. If this is something that you want to do, money should not be the reason why or be a barrier for your health. We can always, always make it work. So here's what I want you to do. Down below, I want you to fill out the application. And then once you fill out the application, you will then be the internet gods will then take you to then book a clear skin call where we will one deep dive into your acne story and everything you've tried to clear your skin. Next, then I will tell you what I think is going on with your acne and how I would then help you clear your skin for good. And then we'll outline that plan. And if you think that's a good plan and something that you want and it's something you can commit to, then we'll talk about if the hormonal acne reset method is a good plan for you, talk about payment, get you started, and you can get started as soon as you're ready. The moment that you decide you're ready and you enroll, you get started, you hit the ground running right then. And then from that point on, you have all the tools that you need in order to clear your skin for the very last time. So I hope to talk to you. I hope to get to know you. I hope you learn something new. Even if you decide that this is not the right time for you, please take what I've learned, go back, rewatch it, and make some changes so that you actually get to the root cause of your acne. But if you're ready to start working together, I'm excited to talk to you, and I will talk to you very soon.